This is the July 15th, 2025 council meeting here in the council chambers. Would the clerk please read the statement of compliance?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. The meeting will adjourn no later than 10 p.m. unless a majority of the council members that are present vote to extend the time.
All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Pignatelli, lead us. Thank you. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may stand here for a moment of silence. Let's just remember those people in Texas with the flooding. Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Smiley.
Here.
Council President McCann.
Here.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose.
Here.
Councilman Saliani.
Present.
Councilman Slasinski.
Here.
Councilman Talmini.
Here.
All right, for the mayor's report, I was going to lead off with the carnival, but I see Chaparuso is here, so he has an extensive report. But I just want to say thank you for all your hard work and your committee did. It was an absolute success. And also, I want to just recognize the Access for All group. They had over 350 people that had signed in for the 2 hours for special needs down at the carnival, and it was really nice to watch these people with disabilities really have a good time and with the ride slowing down. So thank you to your group and the Access for All. The new playground, as you know, there's a new playground that was being replaced down at the rec field down by the Danny D building. I'm happy to report that the rubber surface was completed yesterday, Monday. It's going to require 48 hours to set. The contractor will be coming back Thursday for the final inspection and walkthrough, and once he clears it with the borough, the playground itself will be open, and it's got very nice patriotic colors. It's red, white, and blue with a blue rubber floor, which is nice. The Oakland Paving 2025 road paving program has concluded. All the roads have been milled and paved in Oakland for this year's budget cycle. Yawpo Avenue. Currently, Yawpo still will be done this year. I just want to remind everybody, this is a separate grant with DOT. They expect them to sign off, I believe, at the end of this week or next week, and it's then going to go out for bid once the specifications are ready. And we expect to do paving and milling and paving and fixing up that corner sometime late summer, early fall. So that's in the works. The flood buyout houses, I'm happy to announce that New Jersey DEP finally, after years, has issued permits for the houses to be torn down by the Truman area. Right now, Boswell is currently working up plans and specifications so that we can get that out for bid. Once it goes out for bid, we'll have a meeting and those houses will be coming down. Patriots Way Bridge update. Okay, so here we are. As you know, you've seen my letters that go out. We really got hit with a lot of rain delays in the summer here. But I'm happy to report the crews are now working 6 days a week. They are working on Saturdays. The south side parapet has been completed. They're currently working on the parapet on the northbound. That's the Jersey barrier that you see on the side of the bridge as you're driving across it. If weather holds out, they expect all the concrete work to be completed at the end of next week. So that's good news. No more concrete work. Once that's completed, they'll be milling and paving the road. They have to put in the guide rails, and they also have to do some scoring on the bridge itself, but we're making good headway now that they're working 6 days a week. I'll have more updates in the August meeting. Burger King property. So as I reported in the past, the planning board had asked the property owners to meet with members of the planning board, our engineer, and the property owner. So we met up there last week. Some of the recommendations that were made to make it more palatable and more presentable. If you go up there right now, the light poles have all been taken down. The signboards have been removed. The site's been cleaned up. They're still working on the street signs. And some of the garbage has been removed. And they're also going to be planting some trees up there along the right-of-way. So they are working on that. It was a positive meeting with the owner. Oakland Drugs, it was announced at the last planning board meeting last week that hopefully looks like the Oakland Drugs application will be coming in front of the planning board next month. So if that happens, we're going to see that property get developed also. So we have another vacant property which will be moving forward in our downtown quarter, which is really good news. Truman Lights for the rec program. DEP issued permits last week for the Truman Lighting project. So right now Boswell's working on specifications. Hopefully that'll get ready to go so we can get that done for the fall soccer season. McDonald's, I signed the developers agreement last week. And if I'm sure people have noticed, they're currently working on the site preparation right now. They have machines out there. The Downs Tree Service was out there, so they're getting the site ready for construction. So it's moving along very well at this point. We expect to be done by the end of the year if everything holds out. And I want to give the council a report on the senior bus. As you know, the council decided to allocate an extra $10,000 for the senior bus usage. I met with Ariel last week, discussed it with her. I'm happy to report that ridership is up 43% from January to July, from last year to this time this year. It's being utilized by our seniors for medical appointments, so if they need to go to their doctors or hospitals. It's being used by taking them shopping to different shopping locations. So it's really the seniors. This is really a wonderful move by the governing body to allocate an extra $10,000 for our seniors, and it's working out really well, and it's really a good program for our seniors. And with that, that concludes my report. Thank you for your patience. And do I have a motion to open to public?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Carlson, would you
I
go?
go first.
Yeah, no, you go first.
My name is Nico Carlson. I live 6 Geronimo Way. Today I'm here to confess that I'm a dream stage musical composer that's been harassed by the police, sheriff, and FBI for 40 years. They amplified my mind. The Norwood police detective amplified my mind 40 years ago to try and listen to me compose music. They didn't have the technology. My father's kept it secret, and I'm disenfranchised. I've received no money for my work. I've been told that the Sony company's the one that's collected the proceeds, but I haven't been able to get any lawyer or any representation. And as far as the police and sheriff, they're all mental health. I get put in the mental hospital. So
Thank you,
I'll
Mr.
just
Carlson.
leave it that I'm a musical, dream stage musical composer. I have been since childhood.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. Carlson.
Thank you.
Mr. Russo?
Hi, Chopper Russo, 392 Rampo Valley Road. I brought some handouts. I didn't count right, so not every, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to share. So, you guys share.
Sounds good.
You guys share. I gotta give Maha his own because, you know. And Wendy's from Union City, I am not messing with her, I know better. All right? Oh, wait, it worked out, okay. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Okay. To piggyback what you said before, outstanding job with Access for All. There were actually 350 people that did attend. You know, Jody did that. I don't know all the other people that helped. She had other people helping. I think it worked out really well that there was a break in between. We may realign it and adjust it to go maybe a little bit earlier, go 2 to 4 and have the break between 4 and 5. We did find out from that the people that are there aren't really there to eat or whatever, so, you know, everyone with the 501Cs with the food, you know, really wasn't worthwhile for them to be there. So I think what'll happen next year is the Midway people, Blue Sky Amusements, have 2 trucks and they'll be there. Plus, we provided water. And yes, Rich, that's one of the bills in there. All right. Listen, for years we did it 3 days. We decided to go to a 4-day platform because we couldn't afford to take the insurance. So the extra day was for insurance for things that may occur, all right? Because we do have the nonprofits, and that's what really makes it better, instead of having them come at 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we ask them to come at 6 because so many of us work, and we're all volunteers. So we kind of cut down the hours, but we stretched it out to the other day, just to give you some past history. I got to give credit to Mame and Joe and Danny and Jimmy and so many that were there. Oh, Kevin. I'm going to mess up all the names, but I apologize. You know, it's a group effort, it's a team effort. We really have a good synergy. God blessed us on this one, because as you know, all the different events that we do throughout the year, Halloween, Easter, Christmas tree menorah, Toys for Tots, Memorial Day Parade, Easter egg hunt, Environmental Commission, we do some films, and generally, like, if someone, like, what's that?
Cleanup.
Yeah, townwide cleanup. So, you know, here's our only challenge. We can't keep up with inflation. Let's just talk about like the guy with the bouncy castles. They were like $450 back in the day. Rich, they're about $800-900 now, right?
They've gone up significantly.
Significantly gone up, you know. And one of the things that I've tasked the team to do is, our next meeting is in September. We're gonna go line by line on everything that we do. And we're gonna determine why we're doing certain things. Because like when I started, our responsibility was Carnival, which brought all the money, and the events that we ran were Halloween, Christmas tree menorah, Easter egg, and we financed the Memorial Day. Well, since then, we picked up Fever Pitch, we control, when I say control, we run the whole Memorial Day Parade, and then we're doing Toys for Tots and environmental, and not that any of that's wrong, but these became legacy things. And just like we were approached to do something with Great Oak Park, we're like, we'll help like finance the opening for food and refreshments and things like that, but we didn't want to get painted in a corner where now we have to sponsor 2 or 3 bands every year, you know, because the income's not there, you know, and the fact the inflation is killing us, you know. So if it wasn't for the team, it wouldn't make it work. And we have some great people there. What's our new kid's name that works at Walgreens? Brian? Brian, he's great. You know, we got people coming from all over. We just got a new applicant. By the way, we're doing things a little bit differently. I mean, we always want warm-blooded individuals to participate, but we'd like them to meet with us first, because some people come with aspirations, they think it's this way, they show up one meeting, they're gone. So we want everybody to buy in on it, you know, and it's good because everybody has their little, who likes to do the Halloween, who likes to do Easter, Christmas tree, and that kind of thing. So there's some good synergies there. So I hope I'm not over the time. Anyway, here's the sheet. Just to give you a little background. Our advanced sales were $12,145, which was below average. And it was all weather related. Because if you look, on Wednesday, we got whacked. We closed down at 8:30 on Wednesday, between the lightning and everything else. And we only took in 12,000. And then on Thursday, we were closed at 8 o'clock because of the rain and the lightning. And then the skies opened up and God blessed us, and we took in almost 40, I'm so upset, we only took in 39,897. I needed 103 more to say even 40,000. But that was one of our top grossing days ever. And then on that Saturday, we closed out just shy of 30,000. So the total gross dollars was 106,497. If you compare that to 2023, we were up 12.6%, which you never felt it. I mean, the beautiful thing about those kiosks, not handling cash, it's more efficient. Very rarely we have a line, you know. And then 2024, we're up 11.5%. So those numbers are good. Our expenses were the tents. We had to revisit the tents because of the new fire rules and things like that, which nobody likes change, but that's another thing. You guys all get, not you guys, but I had a lot of agita with this one. Between the fire and the insurance, it was kind of nuts, but the tents were only $63.78. The bathroom is $48.95. That's something we're gonna look at. You know, our experience has been that when you had the plastic bathrooms, I would see people that I know, I'm like, oh, I'm not letting my kid use this bathroom. I'll go home and I'll be back. They never come back. So that's kind of the commitment there. I know we have the bathrooms over by the hockey rink. We're gonna discuss that, get matrons. And then we had some additional supplies. That's the other thing, to save money, we're cleaning the bathrooms. Because the guy's whacking us like $600 to clean the toilets. I mean, come on, you know? So we bought mop and cleaning supplies, water, ice, and ice and water. A lot of the water we gave out to the people that came for Access for All, which again, to Jody, hats off, that really took off. I mean, she came off a good foundation and just took it to another level. So, total expenses, $11,498. Our net proceeds, $23,459.98. I mean, look, if you just, Halloween, Christmas tree menorah, Easter egg, and the parade, that's like $6,000 each. The parade's, what, about 10, 11?
Yeah.
You know, so we really gotta watch. I mean, if we were fortunate that Wednesday and Thursday came out good, if we didn't have that Friday and Saturday, we might be coming to you guys to give us some money. You know, so we've been very frugal. And I know that Ally says fireworks are no good for the environment, and I know Matty wants them. Thank goodness we have not done the fireworks. We would be hitting you up for money. It's not just the cost of the fireworks itself, it's the additional DPW, additional police, and the amount of parking that we lose. So if you like fireworks, come up to Erskine Lake. I do them every year, all right? And I don't charge. But, you know, I love doing it, even though everybody aggravated the heck. It was that close to saying it, but anyway. All I worry about is when I see the kid, the youths of Oakland, and they come up, and they go up to that thing, and their head hits it, and they light up. That was me several decades ago. I'm not gonna go into the numbers, man, all right?
Chopper, you ever thought about or knocked around an idea about asking for corporate sponsorships?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do it with the carnival.
No?
No, because it impacts us negatively. It doesn't help us. We lose 350 parking spots. Then we gotta get the buses, plus the bus
No,
drivers.
I mean, ask them to help us finance it.
That would be fine, but there's not, we don't see the
But
benefit.
it hurts the carnival.
Yeah, to have the fireworks at the carnival,
I'm not talking about fireworks.
oh, as a standalone thing?
Carnival.
Jason, I'm talking about the
Yeah,
fireworks.
we've talked about like doing possibly an Oakland Day. We got an anniversary coming up, you know, but we gotta plan it now, you know?
Well, we're gonna address that at the next public
Yeah.
events.
I mean, yeah, so when's our next big one?
250th, right?
Yeah, 2 years. Next year.
Well, I'm not talking about 4th of July, I'm talking about for Oakland.
It's in 2 years.
All right, so we
Yeah.
gotta plan it now.
Mhm.
All right, I'm cool with that. Yeah, but just, don't do the fireworks at the carnival. It's more of a negative impact.
I didn't mean sponsorship for fireworks. I meant sponsorship just for the carnival.
Well, talking about sponsorships, Craig Popchis, my neighbor, oh, I didn't mention him, he helped out too. He's gonna go looking for sponsorships to dress up the Veterans Park. We did some drones and gave it to him, so we'll see. Rich, no cost to us. Just have to run through Jeff. Anyway, I'm going home, I didn't eat dinner yet.
Thank you.
Hey, Chopper, thank you to you and your team, this is fantastic.
It's
Thank
all
you.
for the youths.
Do I have a motion to close the public?
And my cousin.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're up to approval of minutes. We have June 17th, 2025 minutes and June 17th, 2025 executive minutes.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Sir?
Wendy, which ones did I not make? July 3rd one?
You were not at June 23rd.
June 23rd, the special meeting?
And then you were not at, you were at exec, I believe. No, you were at the 3rd, I thought.
I think it was one I was called out on an ambulance call, so I didn't attend.
No, that was the June 17th meeting.
Okay.
That was the one you left at in exec, was
Yeah.
June 17th.
Okay, so I have to abstain from that, those two,
Okay.
minutes and exec. I thought so, I marked that first.
And then June 23rd.
Thank you.
All right, we have June 17th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Anybody have any changes? No?
Motion to approve?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, June 17th, 2025, executive meetings. Minutes.
Abstain.
Do we have any changes? If we do, it has to be done in executive session. Not seeing any changes, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Do we have to do a roll call? This is Spain?
I'm abstaining.
Right.
So you want to roll call then? All right.
Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Should I go back and do the
Yeah.
roll call over
June
for the other one?
17th, regular minutes.
Regular minutes for June 17th, Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, June 23rd, 2025, special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Abstain?
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
June 26th, 2025, special meeting. Minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second?
Any changes, discussion?
Who's second, I'm sorry?
I did.
John?
John.
Steve's laughing was a distraction. Council President McCann,
Yes. Sorry, John.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, July 3rd, 2025, special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second?
Second by Mr. McCann. Any discussion? Not seeing any? Roll call.
Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, July 3rd, 2025, executive minutes, special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Pat and John for second. Any discussion? Not seeing any? Roll call.
Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're up to special announcements. Franklin Lakes Rotary Park sign. They're looking to put their sign up from 8/21/25 to 9/21/25 for the car show. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Was that Carol?
was
Was
Carol.
that Kevin? Yeah.
All right, we're going to do the resolutions. I'm going to pull out 25-222. Does anybody else wish to pull any out before I run down through these for an consent agenda? Okay. All right, 25-211, refund Oakland Senior Center. 25-212, refund Oakland Recreation. 25-213, refund of taxes, Van Nata Title Agency. 25-214, refund of taxes for Catali. 25-215, refund of utility payment. 25-216, accrued time payout for M. Muturi. 25-217, resolution to extend fire code assistant temporary position. 25-218, authorized lien for property cleanup. 25-219, chapter 159 opioid settlement, CVS, Allegron, and Tevia, 3-year. 25-220, temporary hire construction office. 25-221, resolution fixing the bid threshold pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-3 and appointing qualified purchasing agent. 25-223, appoint municipal alliance staff liaison. 25-224, authorize grant submittal leaf composting 2025 NJDEP. And 25-225, award auction bids. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Carol Ann. Roll call.
Council President McCann,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Saliani,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, 25-222, the reason I pulled this out, this is a resolution authorizing the appointment of municipal representatives to the Bergen County Development Regional Committee. I have 2 appointments. I've appointed the Borough Administrator and our CFO. The council needs to appoint 2 members as well. Currently, Mr. Saliani and Mr. Sislinski are appointed these positions. Question for Council President, do you wish to appoint somebody new, or would you like to keep them the way it is?
I would like to keep them the way it is,
Okay, so,
if that's acceptable to the two who are
I'm
serving.
fine with it, thank you, Councilman. I'm fine with it, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you.
no further discussion? Okay, at this time, I'm going to move 25222, resolution authorizing the appointment of municipal representatives to the Bergen County Community Development Regional Board Committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Saliani. Roll call.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
yes,
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
All right, we're up to ordinances. We have 25 Code 971 for introduction. This is the filming ordinance, and as you know, we recently passed a resolution for filming in town. Mr. Coons, you want to just walk us through this?
Sure. It's essentially, for the most part, the same set of regulations that you adopted via resolution at the last meeting. This will make it permanent by the adoption of the ordinance. Just a couple of things were changed after staff review. We actually added a provision concerning the use of borough water and fire hydrants and established fees for that as well regarding water meters and a regulation that it must be DPW staff that operates that hydrant. Otherwise, it covers all of the same things in terms of fee structure, that you need to provide proof of insurance, a safety plan, proof of notification to affected property owners, and basically just sets up some regulations there to make sure that it doesn't become a burden on the community. And I want to point out that the timing was ideal in adopting the resolution. We had a production company come in, I think it was the following week, and they did some filming up in Ramapo Park, and it netted us $1,000 for the permit.
Anybody have any questions? Not seeing any. Do I have a motion to introduce 25 Code 971 filming ordinance?
So moved.
Mr. Pignatelli, do I have a second?
Second?
Mr. Sislinski. Roll call.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
yes,
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Final adoption and public comment will be August 12th. All right, next we have, for introduction, 25 Code 972, amend 9-2.3 fee schedule for recreation fees, and I believe this has to do with roller hockey. Mr. Coons?
Yeah, it's a relatively straightforward change recommended by the rec committee for the upcoming season. It changes the grade structure a little bit, and it actually reduces the fee for participants in grade 10 through 12 because they have a shortened season. They play less games, and they still wanted to do something that was, I think at a price point that would attract enough players to run the league.
Thank you. Anybody have questions, concerns for the Borough Administrator? Not seeing any. Do I have a motion to introduce 25 Code 972, amend 9-23 fee schedule for recreation fees?
So moved.
Mr. Talamini, do I have a second?
second,
Second? Ms. Rose? Okay. Roll call.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
yes,
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Final adoption will be August 12th with opportunity for the members of the community to comment. Okay. We're moving up to the final adoption of 25 Code 969 Forward Planning Committee. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have discussion? Not seeing any discussion. Do I have a motion to open to public?
Bless you.
So moved.
I'll second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Not seeing any public. Do I have a motion to close?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, this is, do I have a motion, do we have a vote, do I have a motion to approve the
Just need a-
final adoption? Oh, we did that already.
We need a
Roll
vote,
call.
just a
Roll
vote.
call, yep.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
yes,
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
All right, we're up to final adoption, 25 Code 970, tennis court regulations. We heard the testimony about this last month. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved?
Mr. Pignatelli, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Talamini has a second. Any further discussion? Not seeing any. Do I have a motion to open to public?
So moved?
Mr. Talamini, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Talamini. All in favor?
Aye.
Not seeing any public. Do I have a motion to close?
So moved?
Mr. Pignatelli, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Talamini. All right,
All in
roll call.
favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Okay, we're up to work session. Code Amendment, Property Maintenance, Mr. Coons.
Thank you. So this is a follow-on from the discussion brought up at the last meeting regarding residents routinely parking cars on their lawns. And indeed, in the property maintenance code, there is language currently that prevents such a practice in commercial zones, but not in residential zones. This change basically aligns the language in both sections to prohibit parking on lawns throughout the community. It also makes a couple of other technical changes, adds a position title to the enforcement section, and oddly enough, in our borough code, the regulations concerning how high your grass can get was actually not in the property maintenance code. It was in a different chapter. We're just moving it over there while we're doing this cleanup. It's just going to make it easier to administer going forward. So that is the sum total of the changes for the property maintenance code.
Do you have any
Discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Pignatelli?
Yeah, I was under the impression we only had one complaint regarding parking on lawn. Mr. Coons said there has been more than one.
Yeah, it's my understanding from talking with the property maintenance officer that it has been, much more than one over the years. And I think that this would give them the enforcement tool that they need. I don't think the issue here is such when, maybe somebody has a July 4th party or some gathering, one-off, something like that, but it's just routinely using their front lawn or side lawn as a parking spot.
So we're gonna have exemptions for holidays and birthday parties
Not
and
explicit-
anniversaries.
Not explicitly.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is the complaints aren't about those occurrences, it's about people routinely doing it. And, there's procedures set forth in the code too, if you need additional parking spaces, there's, there's standards there for creating a driveway, having a legal parking spot on your property.
If I remember correctly, a discussion came up similarly about overnight parking. And we said, well, if you have a special occasion and your car breaks down, and they would be exempt. And the police department said, look, either you allow it or you don't allow it. So I say to you on the parking on the grass, don't say we're gonna say it's okay for parties, anniversaries, birthdays, because that doesn't cut it. If the law says no, the answer is no. So, if a person has 5 cars in the family and there's a driveway with 5 cars, the first person down, all the way down the bottom needs to leave first. You gotta park all those 4 cars out of there. When you're talking about holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We could go on and on and on about holidays. Yeah, we're going to allow it for them. You're going to wind up with 20 exemptions, and I'll tell you the truth, the police department's not going to like it. It's either you can do it or you can't do it. So I'm not in favor of an ordinance prohibiting parking on the grass, because that's, when there's a special occasion, the cops are going to give them a summons, because that's what the law says.
Pat, my point was that the complaints that we've had have not been about those instances. They've been about people regularly doing it as a standard
I'm
practice.
just saying to you what the police
And I
department-
understand about not having a driveway big enough. I have a 3-car driveway and I have 4 drivers in the family. So when everybody's home, which is often, somebody's parking in the clubhouse parking lot or on the ring road where there's striped
I'm just
on-street
telling you, the
parking.
police department
So I
said-
I understand that
If
issue.
it's no, it's no. You can't say it's no, however. So, people are not gonna be able to park for a party, graduation parties. There's usually a lot of cars for them. The answer's gonna be no.
Pat,
Can I just share something with you all? When residents call the clerk's office saying, I'm having a party and I'm gonna have a lot of people, what do I need to do? We refer them to our traffic officer. They report to the traffic officer what they're doing, or if they need overnight parking for 3 days or whatever, and then the traffic officer allows them to park and no fines are written to those people. So there is a procedure in place for people who are gonna have extenuating circumstances of needing parking to let the police department know that they work with. So I just wanted to share that.
I think it's ambiguous. I think it's
that
ambiguous.
Perhaps a solution to what you've raised is to not allow for parking in front lawns for more than 24 hours. Because that would eliminate any special occasions or something like that, but you would, yeah, I do think that there's a legitimate concern with people just storing cars in front lawns, especially non-operational cars.
If they're registered, there's nothing you can do about it.
no, but that's the complaint I've received, right? There's people who leave cars on the lawn for longer than 24 hours. And to me, it's an eyesore. It's not fair to the people who upkeep. I actually think Matt's, the borough attorney's revision makes more sense.
I think we need something else though, because if you're saying 24 hours, somebody can use it as a routine parking spot, they park on it at night, they leave in the morning, it's not 24 hours, but it's being done on a regular basis. That's the sort of thing that we're gonna get a complaint about. Or that we get complaints about.
Mr. Coons, do we want to take this back and maybe work on this a little more? with
It's
our
just
attorney?
my opinion.
Well, listen, the other thing I'm gonna say is, whether it's a police officer or it's the property maintenance officer, there's discretion afforded as well, okay?
Discretion
And
is
there's
afforded
and for parties, there's on-street parking as well on most streets.
Discretion is
I
for
don't really see
Title
it as an issue.
39.
I really don't see it as an
Police officers' discretion is
issue.
for Title 39. Am I right, Mr. Attorney?
Are you saying the police have discretion in enforcing Title 39?
Yes.
Theoretically, they should always be enforcing Title 39. I think there is some discretion given, but the
Discretion,
law
right.
itself does not allow for discretion in
Exactly.
enforcing Title 39.
But we're going to allow for discretion on grass. Okay. To me, it's ambiguous, but look, I'm one of 6 people who vote on it. I'm just telling you my concern. That's all.
Anybody else in the council wish to comment? Does the council wish to move forward on this?
I move to move forward.
Okay, Mr. Coons?
You have to get a vote.
If you have voted on it, don't we?
Well, no, this
Hang on,
is,
she's got to
This
go.
this
is
is
just
just discussion.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can reword it,
Well,
or is it?
if the council feels that there needs to be some specific carve-out, we can work on that language and bring it back and, move it towards introduction at the next meeting with some sort of specific language.
I mean, I get what you're saying as far as like, well, they could just expand their driveway, but for someone like me, like, I tried.
Oh, you can't always, I
You can't
understand that
because,
too.
so, and when my husband was alive, there were times when we would have to park, on the grass. But, so I can understand somebody's circumstances in doing that, but, I don't know.
What are we going to say? You can do it one day a week, but the other 6 you can't?
But Pat, using that, we made a law regarding not having Airbnb in town based on the number of cars in the street and parking on lawns. That was one of the things we took into consideration, right? So then we're being hypocritical of a decision we've previously made using the same circumstance.
What I also could suggest is that I'm sure that other towns have ordinances similar, so perhaps we engage in looking at what some other neighboring towns around us are doing to address this issue and see if maybe bringing that back to the council and see what language the council likes based upon what similar municipalities are doing in regards to this type of ordinance.
My biggest problem is that if the law says no, the answer is no, you can't do it. Not no, however.
I think that the issue that's trying to be...
It's too ambiguous.
I agree with you, Councilman, that perhaps we need different language, but I think that everyone agrees here that the issue that's trying to be addressed is people just parking either inoperable or idle vehicles for weeks, months, years at a time in their front lawn, as opposed to, I have a friend over and they're parking on the front lawn. So I think that, yes, we can craft language to address that, but I think that there is a valid concern in addressing the idea people are just using their front lawn as automobile storage.
One of the things you can do in the ordinance is you could give the police department the option of issuing a warning or a citation, since it's a municipal ordinance violation.
Okay. No further discussion?
Well, and to that point, right, so this is not under Title 39, right? It's under the Property Maintenance Code. And the-
It's a borough ordinance, yeah.
Right, and so the normal process used to remediate those issues is to issue an NOV, which gives the person time to correct the violation, right? So we're not just issuing a summons,
Correct.
right? They have a period of time to correct it. So, you know, property maintenance officer works with that person, they make a good faith effort to remedy it, and it's done, and it's over with.
And, you know, again, another, garage sales, yard sales, moving sales. I mean, they had an estate sale up the street from me the other day. There's cars parked all on Rampart Valley Road, you know, causing you know, traffic hazard. So, you know, these are other circumstances where you get a lot of people parking, you know, not only garage sales, what are yard sales, what's the other one?
Estate sales.
Yeah, plenty. I mean,
It's a different
again,
issue.
it's,
Same situation
It's
with
a
that.
different
They have to
issue.
call- They call the office, I tell them to call the
Right.
police department and let them know what you're doing, because if you expect a lot of traffic, they need to be aware.
And that, you know, and Pat, what you're describing there is potentially a traffic hazard. You're parking the roadway, you're blocking traffic. That's more of a motor vehicle violation than what we're talking about here, which again, falls under the auspices of property maintenance and how you keep your property.
okay.
Well,
I'm
Mr.
just
Coon?
one vote.
Mr. Coons, you want to work on the language on that for next meeting then?
Well, what would council like to see?
So I thought limiting the time makes sense, even if it, maybe 24 hours or consecutive days or something like that, you know, that makes, but I like the warning rather than issuing that, and I really don't think, like, the police aren't going to be driving around like, oh my God, they're parking, I think it's gonna be more, someone's gonna call up and say, oh, this guy's been parking a car here, can we do something about it? So I think if it's not bothering anybody, it's not bothering anybody, you know, I think, but I think it's quality of life kind of thing too. You buy a house, you don't expect to have somebody parking 3 cars on the lawn, and, you know, you gotta think about your neighbor too.
As the property maintenance issue generally is worked with a notice prior to any enforcement, and with putting in the option of issuing a warning for the first violation, that would obviate any need to put in any kind of time restriction, because it's really
Right.
aimed at the serial abuser. So that,
Yeah, I
that
think-
would give the code enforcement official and the police department plenty of leave.
I mean, I could see Pat's point also.
Well,
yeah.
but that's the point. Pat wants enforcement, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
So so the way you do it is you put it in the property maintenance as you do anything else, and you stick to your procedure as it's laid out, and you can add that extra piece of it by putting in the first time a violation may be a warning. It doesn't have to be.
Right.
If the person gives, the officer a hard time, or if it has no rational explanation, the officer has the discretion to issue the citation. So that would obviate, that brings full enforcement, the way to full enforcement that Pat's seeking, and it takes care of the problems that you may have had with your property, and trying to take into account all the people that
It might make sense to reach out to other towns, though, see what they have done with the parking
I had
ordinance.
an experience in another town in Passaic County where there was,
Morris County.
it was Morris County, where I went to a party, and I parked by a sidewalk in front of a house, with no driveway, apparently, no garage, no curb cuts. There was some rocks on the front lawn there, in front of one of the rooms to the house. It wasn't a garage, and I parked there, and I came out and I had a ticket for parking in front of someone's driveway. That court hearing is set for the end of the month. It's a parking ticket, but.
Do you need a lawyer? I know one.
Yeah. No, but it was a little odd because there's nothing in that town's ordinance that even remotely says you have to have curb cuts to have a driveway. So it's a little funky, but clearly not deserving of a ticket.
So let's not use their ordinance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just for example.
So what would the council like to do? Move forward on this?
I'll move forward with the caveat that we're gonna review other towns' ordinances and wording accordingly.
Okay. Should we put it to a vote?
Yeah, I think.
All right, do we have a second on that?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor? Or do you want to do roll call?
You can do all in favor.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, Mr. Coons.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We're looking into it.
Aye.
All right, next one, we have code amendment, work session, outdoor dining, Mr. Coons.
Sure. Some of you may recall the issue of outdoor dining, which really first came up in earnest as a consequence of the pandemic, and that was allowed on a temporary basis. And then in 2021, we amended the land use code to provide some parameters for permanent outdoor dining at our establishments. And subsequently, the state passed their own statute regarding it and criteria for that. We never went back and kind of amended our code, and I think that there's another restaurant that's coming in, and they were looking for the application, and code enforcement zoning officer was looking at it, and would like to see some changes to the code to make sure that it aligns with the state statute and make sure it has some things in there in terms of requirements that better enables us to make sure that the restaurants are doing what they need to do. So this includes the current ordinance just has a licensing procedure. It's sort of a permanent thing. This would change it to an annual license with a lower fee. It would provide hours of operation.
You want us to match the state statute?
More or less, right. And they did look at some other towns too, especially where the zoning officer also worked and picked up some provisions. There's some things in there about what would qualify for a revocation or suspension of the license. Regulate signage, requires 4 feet of clear pathway on sidewalks. Some things of that nature. Yeah, give it a little bit more specificity.
Did the new state statute prohibit us from having local ordinances in this area?
Honestly, I'd have to go back and check.
I think that's the first threshold question.
Okay, yeah, I just don't recall.
Sometimes when they pass an ordinance like, a law like that, they still give discretion, with us matching the minimums. Let's just see what that.
I have a question, clarity on the time. It's 7 a.m. They're allowed to have outdoor dining? Am I wrong?
That's what it would be. Yeah.
7 a.m.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Diner.
Just open the diner itself, will be right, 7 a.m., they get outside.
So if there are residents in the area, 7 a.m. on a Saturday and Sunday, they're gonna be eating outside, clanging dishes
They've
and
been doing
glasses
it.
and,
They've been doing it now.
For the last 5 years.
I didn't realize it was 7 a.m. though. Is that what the state law is?
I believe so, and that's,
Could
sort
you
of
check
conforms
that,
with,
just to
that
make
sort
sure?
of conforms with our hours of operation now, at least in the morning. But
mean,
yeah, I can check, sure.
And the only reason, not the only reason, but like when someone comes for, they want construction work on a Saturday, we don't allow them to start at 7 a.m. I mean, that could be different because that's really residential area, I understand that. But I'd like a little clarity on the state's time that they can start outdoor dining, please.
Okay.
And I was reading about the preparation of food, and is that serving drinks too? From, like, they're not allowed to prepare food outside?
Right, so basically, you don't do that inside, right? You're not in the dining area preparing food, well, maybe if you're a hibachi steakhouse, but, other than that, it's the same thing here. I think that's actually more of a health code issue there, that it's a dining area, it's not a food prep area.
But like drinks, they can serve drink, like they have like little bars set up?
I don't think so.
They have to extend their alcohol serving permit. So they would file with the ABC for an extension, as well as doing our application, and then the ABC would allow them to have the outdoor extension. And I believe it runs from April to November, right, Rich?
Something like that,
Yeah, it's April to November, but they have to get approval by ABC and extend their alcoholic beverage license to be able to serve alcohol outside.
To serve it?
They don't have a bar set up out there. Everything comes from inside to the outside.
And
That's state regulation.
Right.
That's it.
And Mr. Coons, this has to be renewed on a yearly basis?
It
runs
would
what,
be an
calendar year?
annual license.
It's an annual license?
Yeah.
Calendar year, January to December?
No, liquor license runs July 1 to June 30.
No, we're not talking about the liquor license, Wendy, we're talking about the outdoor
outdoor
dining
Oh,
license.
oh, sorry.
Okay. Any further discussion?
All right, I'll go back and make sure that we're not somehow preempted here by state statute and
And also the time,
get back to you. Sure.
please.
So then we would discuss this again in work session at the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. New business. Anybody here have any new business?
I do.
Mr. McCann?
I would like to pass a resolution this evening appointing Kevin Soslinski, the new council president for the remainder of the year. At the beginning of this year, Kevin and I sat down in a caucus session, and we agreed that this year we would share that position with the borough, given Kevin's work schedule at the beginning of the year versus my schedule at the beginning of the year versus my schedule at the latter part of the year, and his current schedule. We thought that it would be the best interest of the borough to be served, that we divided the year up, and we agreed to that. And I would like to make a motion to appoint Kevin the new council president for the remainder of the year,
Effective immediately?
effective immediately.
I will second.
All in favor? for making-
Aye?
Aye?
Everybody? Okay. Congratulations, Council President.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
John.
Do we have any other new business? I have one piece of new business. Obviously, as you know, there's a lot of work taking place downtown. We have the building next to the Exxon, which is going in. And fortunately, we put a streetscape ordinance in place last year. Also, with the drugstore going in, it's gonna have to comply to that. Currently, it runs from Franklin Ave up to Oak Street. I would like to see the streetscape ordinance to go all the way down to Post Road, so that we have our commercial district down there, including the Portobello's, the tire shop, whatever goes into the parking lot of the Burger King, so we can capture all that and start really creating this downtown look and feel of Oakland. Input from the council?
Sounds good.
I think that's great.
I agree.
Yes?
Everybody's in favor of that?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so for the borough attorney, this goes what, to the planning board? Or do we just do it here?
We have to introduce it as an ordinance, then it goes to the planning board.
Okay. All right, so we'll have that ready for next meeting then? Okay. That's any other new business? Okay. Anybody have any old business? All right, committee council liaison reports. I'll start this then. Councilwoman Rose.
Okay, thank you. Shade Tree Committee met yesterday at 7:30. Our Adopt a Tree program is getting very popular. They planted 23 trees recently, and they have a second round coming up later this year. The forester put in 51 hours, issued 28 permits, 71 trees were removed, 9 replaced. Next meeting is scheduled for August 4th at 7:30. Arts Committee meeting is coming up on Monday, July 21st at 7 p.m. The outdoor market is doing well. The next one is scheduled for Saturday, July 26th. Free outdoor concert is scheduled for August 20th at 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Pavilion at the Great Oak Park. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. From the library, summer reading is in full swing at the library for adults, children, and young adults. They have dozens of programs, too many to list here, so patrons are encouraged to check out the online calendar where you can find the events and register for the ones they want to attend. A big fun event is the Dueling Pianos live on the library stage this Friday at 7 p.m. Tickets for this event are $10 each and available at the library while they last. This is a terrific high-energy concert that sounds amazing on the stage. Just a reminder, it is never too late to sign up for summer reading. They have prizes for participants in all age groups. This also helps keep young readers engaged while school is out so they don't read regress. Special shout out to the OPL players, Oakland Public Library Summer Drama Club. If you have a child who's interested in being part of this performance, have them come down and get them signed up. And lastly, just a reminder that while it's always great to read books, OPL's digital library is open 24/7. That's round-the-clock access to ebooks, digital audiobooks, e-magazines, and more, wherever you have an internet connection. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Councilman McCann.
No report, Mayor.
Councilman Saliani.
I just wanted to thank the Public Events Committee, as Mr. Russo was here at the beginning, a great job from the carnival and everything that group did for the carnival and to get working with the 501c3s and get everything set up. So I just want to echo his comments to the team, what a great job they did. For the Oakland Communications Committee, we had our last meeting on July 7th, and one of the key aspects that came out of that meeting is we're looking to there's work that needs to be done in the control room, and we're putting an request for proposal out to certain vendors to make sure we can get the best price for services to keep the town's costs down. There had not been RFP for the last 3 or 4 years. And it's about time we do that to make sure we keep our vendors straight who serve the OCC. I do also, the OCC was very, very much present at the Oakland Carnival. Want a special thanks to Rich Sasson for talking to all the different non-public organizations of the Carnival, and then working with the volunteers, the Public Events Committee, and Access for All, getting information and putting together film for the Carnival. It was a great job. If you do see on the OCC, if you go to YouTube or you go to Channel 77, they do live film and video from the Carnival, and they actually went to all the 501c vendors, took pictures, talked to them, gave them a chance to send what their platforms are, what they do for the town. I thought that was very nice of them. It was able for the 501c3s to reach out to the public and ask for volunteers and get their messages out there. So I really appreciate the OCC for doing that. If you want to be part of the OCC team, we're still taking volunteers on several committees. Please email occ@oaklandnewjersey.org or email myself at my council email address, and I will forward it for volunteers. And then last note, the nonprofit board that works for the OCC for fundraising, one of the things they're currently fundraising for is they want to fundraise to get additional cameras so we can start putting cameras in the senior center. That's one of their goals, and the nonprofit board is the fundraising arm for the OCC. They are looking for a volunteer who wants to join, who has experience in fundraising, and looking to help the town and give some better communications. So if you're interested, please email myself or the OCC. And then our next meeting is September 10th at 7 p.m. right here in Oakland Council Chambers. That's all I have.
Councilman, I did receive an email from Gina Brugami.
Okay.
Okay. I did chat with her. I did forward it to the OCC mailbox.
Okay.
To get in contact with her, so she's interested in joining the OCC.
Thank you very much.
As a junior member.
Okay.
Councilman Pimentel.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Again, I'd like to echo what Councilman Saliani said to the Public Events Committee. Did an outstanding job. I mean, they work so hard to make sure every detail is at 10 or above, if you can do that. But Public events, outstanding job. Thank you to DPW, Police Department, and all the nonprofit organizations that took part in it. And it just was it was a great night, great 4 days. So thank you so much. For the senior citizens, July 31st at 1 o'clock is a presentation by a physical therapist on joint replacement and rehabilitation. And here's the best announcement I've heard. August the 7th, National Root Beer Float Day at the Senior Center. I'm canceling all my appointments that day because I'm going to definitely be there for National Root Beer Float Day. But we are, Senior Citizen Center does ask, please RSVP for either one, 201-405-7731. And again, I'd like to echo what the mayor said about the senior citizen bus, 43% increase. And people use it for medical appointments, shopping, also to use the senior citizen center more frequently. So it goes a long, long way having that bus for an extra day. And one last note, Environmental Commission is asking for volunteers. Anyone interested? I know a lot of people are interested in the environment. So please, if you'd like to volunteer your expertise and time, or just come down to the Environmental Commission, but go into the clerk's office first, Borough Clerk's office, and get the volunteer form. What's the official name of that form?
Citizens Leadership Form.
Citizen Leadership Form. I want to say it correctly. Thank you, Mayor. That's it.
Councilman Salamini.
No reports, Mayor.
Excellent. All right, bills to be paid.
Bills to be
Councilman.
paid, bills to be paid, $1,096,387.32. So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pignatelli. Roll call.
Council President McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rose?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Second. All right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next council meeting will be held Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, 7 p.m. here at the council chambers. Have a good night, everybody. See you in August.
Thanks, John.